Welcome to Oculus of the Wise. Chosen one, pay close attention to who has been watching you lately when they think you have not noticed. And stop scrolling for exactly 1 moment, because something happened in the spiritual realm today that you are not yet aware of. These two things are connected, and by the time this message is over, you are going to understand exactly why. Something shifted around your life today in the unseen realm. Something so unexpected, so quietly sacred, that heaven itself paused to look at you, and God, the one who spoke galaxies into existence with a single breath, leaned back, smiled wide, and laughed. Not with mockery, not with disbelief, with the kind of fatherly delight that only rises when a father watches his child do something nobody believed they were capable of. And God says quietly to the angels, "I told you, I always knew this one would rise, and that child was you." Today, before we go any deeper, I want to ask you to subscribe to Oculus of the Wise right now if you have not already. Every word on this channel was written for the people who are being called higher in the middle of a season that tried its hardest to drag them lower. If that is you, hit subscribe so the next message with your name on it finds you the moment it drops. Now, let me break down exactly what has been happening around you, because there are 5 things going on in your life simultaneously right now, and most of them are invisible to everyone, except heaven. Number 1. The attention you have been receiving lately is not random. Pay close attention to who has been watching you when they think you have not noticed. Not a casual glance, not idle curiosity, the kind of sustained, quiet, almost reluctant attention that people give to something they cannot fully explain, something they built a version of in their heads a long time ago and filed away completely convinced they already knew what it was. And then it showed up looking like something they were not prepared for at all. That is what you have become to the people in your orbit right now. You interrupted the version of yourself they stored in their minds. You did not stay where they left you. You did not shrink into the role they assigned you. You evolved in a direction nobody predicted. And now people who once looked at you like a bad Wi-Fi signal they could not get a reading on are studying your frequency like it is the only one in the room. Here is what makes it even more striking. Research consistently shows that people admire others in silence at least 3 times more often than they ever say out loud. Meaning for every 1 person who has shown you love publicly, there are at least 3 more quietly clapping for you behind a locked screen, pretending they are just scrolling past. Your growth has been touching lives you have not counted yet, and the admiration collecting around your name right now is not about luck or visibility. It is about the depth of who you chose to become when nobody was watching. Number 2. Someone who once dismissed you has become your quietest and most attentive audience. And we are not talking casual admiration here. Think about an art collector who passed on a piece when it was affordable, watched it triple in value, and now cannot stop thinking about the decision they made. That is exactly the dynamic happening in someone's life right now because of yours. Someone who overlooked you, underestimated you, or treated your potential like a punchline they thought they already knew, is now privately studying your every move with a focus they never gave you when you were standing right in front of them. They are not doing it publicly, they are doing it late at night, scrolling past your energy and feeling something they do not quite have the language to name. And every time you level up somewhere, under their breath, without fully realizing it, they are whispering something like, "Damn, look at them." Their attention is not just curiosity. It is rooted in the uncomfortable realization that you built something they cannot replicate and cannot buy. You set a pace they admire but cannot match. You grew without asking their permission, and now they are measuring their own life against yours in ways they would never say out loud. That silent dependency is more powerful than any compliment they could offer. and it says more about your evolution than anything they could ever put into words. Number 3. Heaven saw something in you today that nobody else in your life was positioned to witness. Maybe today felt completely ordinary to you. Maybe you were tired, frustrated, moving through your routine without any sense of the sacred. But at some point today, chosen one, you made a move that shifted the spiritual atmosphere around your entire life. Maybe it was the moment you refused to argue, perhaps when you had every right to. Maybe it was when you shut your mouth instead of defending yourself to someone who was never going to hear you anyway. Maybe it was when you gave the situation to God instead of spiraling it into exhaustion at 2 in the morning. Maybe it was when you chose to forgive someone who never apologized, not because they deserved it, but because your peace was worth more than waiting for their accountability. Maybe it was when you walked away from something that had the gravitational pull to drag you straight back into who you used to be. Maybe it was the brave thing you did while your hands were shaking and your voice was quiet and nobody in the room understood what it cost you. Heaven saw every single one of those moments. God saw it, and the angels leaned in and whispered to one another. Look at them. They are changing, because everything that used to break you did not break you today. Everything that used to trigger you did not trigger you today. Everything that used to send you into spiritual chaos did not even scratch you today. And when God witnessed that, he laughed, the victorious, joyful, deeply fatherly laugh that fills the throne room with celebration. The laugh of a father who says out loud, "My child is stronger than they realize. My child is finally beginning to see themselves the way I have always seen them." Hear me clearly. God's laughter over your life is not a small thing. When heaven celebrates your obedience with that kind of delight, things move. Timelines shift, delays break, doors that have been sealed for seasons crack open without you having to force a single thing. If this word is already speaking to something in your spirit, I want to ask you to drop a comment below right now with whatever this is stirring in you. Even one word. Because when you speak it, you are not just engaging with a video, you are declaring something over your own life. And if this channel has ever reached you at a moment when nothing else could, consider sowing a seed into this mission. The link is in the description and pinned right in the first comment below. Your seed does not just support a channel, it keeps this message finding the next chosen one who is 3 seconds from scrolling past the word that was placed in their path on purpose. Only if you feel led, no obligation. But a seed planted in the right soil never returns empty. Number 4, the enemy made a catastrophic miscalculation today, because their entire strategy against you has always been your emotional reaction. If they could bait you into responding the way the old version of you used to respond, they could keep you cycling through the same season, the same patterns, the same spiritual dead ends indefinitely. They had your triggers mapped. They knew your breaking point. They built their entire attack around a version of you that no longer exists. And today, you walked right past the trap they laid without even flinching. They cannot trigger you like before. They cannot bait you like before. They cannot predict you like before. They cannot predict you like before. And when darkness realized that today, panic set in, because a chosen one who has outgrown their own triggers has become something that enemy forces cannot strategize against. You have turned unpredictable to the very powers that were assigned to stop you. And that is a significant part of why God's laughter shook the spiritual atmosphere around your life today. Your growth did not just please heaven, it scared everything that had been assigned to hold you back. Number 5, your silence, your stillness, and your absence have become the loudest things in every room. The moment you pulled back, the moment you stopped being freely available to every situation and every person who wanted access to your peace, the weight of what they had been taking for granted landed hard What they assumed was ordinary turned out to be rare. What they treated as replaceable turned out to be irreplaceable. And the boundaries you are holding right now, not with anger, not with performance, but with calm, deliberate, unshakable clarity, are teaching people a standard they failed to meet when you were right in front of them. Your restraint is not passivity. It is authority. Your silence is not defeat. It is strategy. Your stillness is not emptiness. It is the posture of someone who knows exactly what they are worth and has stopped negotiating. Even the people around you who do not have the language for any of this are watching you with a quiet awe that makes them uncomfortable, because you are becoming something they cannot replicate and cannot dismiss. Someone whose energy speaks louder than any argument. Someone whose presence commands respect without demanding it. Someone whose peace makes the chaos around them feel embarrassed to stay in the room. Here is what I need you to carry forward from this moment. Everything you endured, every betrayal, every closed door, every season that stretched far past when it should have ended, every moment you held on when letting go would have felt like such a relief. None of it was wasted. It was working, quietly, invisibly, below the surface. It was building the version of you that heaven has been waiting for. The version the enemy cannot manipulate. The version the people who dismissed you never predicted would exist. The version God has been laughing over with delight because he could see it coming long before you ever could. And now that this version of you has fully emerged, heaven is in motion. God is about to restore what was taken from you, multiply what was delayed for you, stabilize what felt shaky around you, replace the environments that were shrinking you with rooms that were architecturally designed for your expansion. Align people who already have your name on their lips into your path before this season closes. Open conversations about your future in spaces you have not entered yet. Nothing can stop what has already been released over your name. Not the enemy, not your past, not the people who built their entire opinion of you around a version of you that no longer exists. Your growth scared the darkness. Your obedience activated heaven, and what God moves on cannot be unmoved, revised, or recalled. And now, chosen one, I want to speak this directly and deliberately over your life right now. May the favor of God go before you into every room you step into this week. May the joy that heaven carried today over what you chose to do become the very strength that keeps you standing through every hard day ahead. May every door that was shut in your face because the season was not ready open now, because you are. May the people assigned to your next level find you without delay. May the blessings held in reserve for this version of you arrive before this week ends. May every force that was assigned to your stagnation look at your life and understand, without any room for doubt, that they severely miscalculated who they were dealing with all along. You are covered. You are seen. You are being celebrated in places you cannot see yet. And none of that requires your permission to be true. So before you close this video and walk back into your day, do 3 things. Subscribe to Oculus of the Wise so the next word finds you the moment it drops. Like this video as a declaration that you received what was spoken here today. And share it right now with one person who is still deep in the middle of the season this message was built for. Because there is someone in your life who needs to know that heaven has not forgotten them, and you are the one who is supposed to tell them. Drop a comment below and tell me which of the 5 numbers hit you the deepest. Your comment is not just feedback. It is a word that is going to reach the next person who scrolled here, desperate and quiet, and needing to know that they were not invisible to God. God bless you, chosen one. Your new season did not start tomorrow. It started the moment you stopped being who they expected you to remain. Now, go live like heaven already knows your name, because it does. It always has.